Several new developments in South suburban Dalton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their...
Is Tiffany Henry's tenure as mayor of Dalton coming to an end? We may be closer to the solution than we think. Rumor has it that federal agents have discovered new evidence and gathered new witnesses to testify, putting Mayor Henry at the center of a growing web of controversies. Numerous accusations, such as financial mismanagement, odd behavior, and alleged betrayals by her closest colleagues, appear to be weakening her once firm grip on the town. Is this the beginning of Dalton's super mayor's downfall?
That is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits.
Tiffany Henyard has been involved in scandal after scandal since she took office, and each one has been more shocking than the last. Now everything are spiraling out of control. The FBI is in town, subpoenas are being issued, and those with knowledge of the matter say Henyard might soon be issued an arrest warrant. According to rumors, federal investigators have discovered information that could ultimately lead to Hillary's downfall.
The government always does it, is to go and investigate people around her.
The dirt seems to be coming from her close circle. Authorities frequently use the tactic of looking into those who are close to the subject. And this is exactly what is happening in this instance. Lacey, the disgraced former deputy police chief who was a staunch backer of Henyard, but is today battling his own legal troubles, is now here. He is facing 9 accusations, including fabricating false statements, bankruptcy fraud, and perjury. Much more intriguing than the gravity of the charges is the notion that he may be assisting the authorities in order to defend himself. If this is the case, Lacey may be sharing a number of details about Henyard's actions. And if that happens, her power could be in grave danger.
Absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to...
However, the game is over if he flips. It's like something from a soap opera. You can't make it up.
Officers to be on the street fighting crime, and instead we have several officers that are riding around.
A number of financial scams have landed him in hot water, including questionable overtime payments, questionable transactions totaling thousands of dollars, and who knows what else. Now that the feds are intently monitoring every choice, every transaction, and every private conversation in the corridors, the strain is mounting.
You are up here at this special meeting and not down.
Lacey isn't the only insider who might be betraying Henyard. Other insiders are also ready to speak. There are rumors that a former ally, possibly even from her own office, has been providing information to investigators. The murmurs are getting louder, and many Dalton residents believe that Henyard's inner circle is breaking down. Because they don't want to be part of her demise, those who formerly supported her are now shunning her. Not to mention the controversies surrounding Tiffany Henyard Cares, her foundation. Initially, it seemed like a worthy cause, a cancer foundation established in her father's honor. But the further you go, the more blurry things get. The charity has been the target of serious accusations of poor administration, including incorrect Attorney General's office registration and complete secrecy about how the money was being used. To make matters worse, the Illinois Attorney General's office issued a cease and desist order against Henyard's charity after it was discovered that the foundation was operating without the necessary paperwork. What about a non-profit that doesn't even bother to follow the rules? That raises a whole new set of questions.
One day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is...
An intriguing tidbit about her spending habits is this. Do you remember the $33,000 she allegedly spent in a single day on Amazon? Yes, the taxpayers paid $33,000 in a single day, and that's only the beginning. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was hired as a special investigator to look into Dalton's finances, found a long list of questionable spending. It includes first-class travel, fine dining, and even personal items. Lightfoot was appalled by Henyard's treatment of the village's credit card as if it were her own ATM. It is evident from these types of records that Dalton is experiencing financial troubles.
Are paying.
Given the $365 million shortfall, how could someone spend millions of dollars so quickly? By living large, of course. When it comes to extravagant getaways and luxurious lodgings, Henyard didn't skimp. To be honest, she even billed taxpayers for several political junkets that were essentially lavish vacations. We're talking about trips to New York, Atlanta, and other well-known locations, which led to hotel bills reaching tens of thousands of dollars. These weren't your normal vacations, either. One really startling expense, $9,347 for a stay at the Four Seasons in Atlanta.
Is it a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
State Comptroller Susana Mendoza made it plain that assistance to the village will stop unless Dalton gets its financial house in line. Mendoza criticized Henyard's actions without holding back, claiming that they were offensive to the Dalton community. Who was to argue? While the town suffers, the mayor enjoys the luxury of living like a king or queen. It sounds like something from a reality TV show, but the consequences are far more dire. Not to mention how Henyard ended up in this situation. Ambition, deceit, and manipulation are central to the plot. Tiffany Henyard was someone else before she became the unstable mayor she is now. She had high hopes and dreams when she was first elected mayor of Dalton in 2021. She rode a wave of popularity because she was young, charming, and promised to clean up the area. But these promises finally turned to dust. Instead of transparency, there were cover-ups. Instead of accountability, there was arrogance. Her stint in office has been marked by her almost continual pursuit of power at whatever cost.
Some more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions, and so it's not about clickbait, it's about just...
The first sign that danger was on the horizon was Henyard's handling of the local police force. Almost immediately after taking office, she made changes, replacing high-ranking bureaucrats with reliable people like Lacey. Initially, it seemed like a smart political move to maintain allegiance and strengthen authority. But over time, it became clear that this was more about control than efficient management. Often at the expense of the town's well-being, Henyard employed her power as a weapon to suppress opposing viewpoints and further her personal objectives. Her authority earned her the nickname Dalton Dictator, and it wasn't just a show. She reportedly attacked detractors with an almost compulsive degree of fury and used the police department to settle personal scores. Subsequently, she was accused of abusing the police force for her own personal safety, resulting in substantial overtime costs for officers. The idea that she ran the town as though it were her own personal territory is supported by a lot of evidence. It's almost tragic, really. This individual came into government promising progress, yet all she has brought about is chaos. With her questionable spending and erratic behavior at town meetings, where she regularly speaks into a golden microphone, Henyard has sowed more discord than unity.
It was just very stressed and critical to the point of almost...
The rapid dissemination of stories is making Dalton locals uneasy. They want accountability, answers, and most importantly, a mayor who isn't in the headlines all the time for the wrong reasons. The town has grown weary and is prepared for change. The crucial question remains, will she weather the storm, or will the career of Dalton's so-called supermayor end? One thing is for sure, things don't seem to be going well. Only time will tell. With every new charge and piece of evidence, the walls are getting closer. Dalton's citizens are left to question whether Henyard's experience was valuable. In the foreseeable future, handcuffs may be the solution. Keep an eye out because this story is far from over. Henyard might be down, but she's not out yet. With her back against the wall, she will surely fight back. But will it be enough to save her? Or is it too late? It's obvious that Dalton will never be the same. The fan reactions to Tiffany Henyard's scandal-plagued tenure as mayor are just as intense as the controversies themselves. The constant stream of misconduct and the lack of responsibility prompts many people to voice their displeasure and skepticism.